Well, I got it. I got all the wires up in there and got them kind of tucked up in there. And even those little stranded wires, a stranded wire to a stranded wire, I would kind of connect those two, you know, twizzle them together before I put the wire nut on. Okay? And now I'm hoping that this trim is just going to go up. And I've got the little screw for it still. Remember, this one fits up over that. And there's a bigger slot for the screw. And I've got it loose. I don't know if I've got it loose all the way. I think, okay, there. See there? Got that. And now I've got to slide it over to where I can hit this screw here. And that's just a hair too tight. I can loosen that up. This screw over here. I may have to get my my phone. Yeah, I'm gonna have to get my phone, and so I can see up here. It's getting kind of dark, and that way I can slide that over and fish it up into that back hole. Okay, that's your next step. And on these screws, remember I told you there's a we'll get you back down here. See, this is the screw. So I'm only tightening it up to there, okay? So this last little bit sticks down all by itself, even though this is tight up there. That way, when I slide that next piece up there, it'll fit up over this screw. Even though everything else is tight, I won't have to tighten anything, will I? Just set it up there, and then find the big hole on both sides, and then twist it, and then that little trim cap will hold up on the bottom. Okay, on the bottom of there. See, that trim cap will cover all that. So see, that's not straight yet. It's got to be slid over, and then that knuckle will be centered in the hole. And so I'll fish this screw up in there, tighten her down, and show you what I do next. Wow, that was tricky in itself to make sure that no wires were hanging around on the knuckle or anything like that. But I've got it. Okay, now see, this fits up in there, and I gotta see where those holes are. About there. Okay, right there. And then push up and kind of twist on it. Ooh! It's not going. I might have those screws. I might have to loosen the screw ever so little. Just a hair. I'm just going to loosen it up just slightly is all, to give me just a little more clearance here. Okay, where was that hole? Right about there. There. Okay. Push up. Okay, there it went. And I twisted it. I think it's supposed to go just a hair further, but I got it. It's on. There, see? Look at that. Fit. Okay. Wow. That's the hardest, one of the hardest parts of the project, to get all that on there. And that extension on there. I'm liking the height, the overall height of this. Momi came in here earlier and I said, how do you like the height of the ceiling fan away from the ceiling? She was hoping it was maybe just a hair higher, but a 2-foot extension would have put those blades up, I think, too close to the ceiling, because it's coming down at an angle, these blades are still pretty long coming out here. So where the end of the blade is, if I would have gotten a 2-foot extension, it might have been too close to the ceiling, or it might not have looked right. It could have probably been, 4 or 5 inches from the ceiling, but then it would have looked like, hey, how come it's so close to the ceiling? You should have extended it down. So, you can't win from losing. Had they have had a 30-inch extension rod, I would have gotten that, but I did the hypothesis and everything, and I'm up there pretty high off of the floor. They say to have a ceiling fan between 7 and 9 feet from the floor, and this one here is probably over 8 feet. Checking it out right now. And see, it's 8 foot 4 inches or so to the blades, and that's pretty good. I don't think I want it much higher than that. When I put it all together, worst case scenario, I say worst case scenario, if you think it's too low, well, hey, you could go back to the store, take that one back, get a 2-foot extension, but all the work that you've put in, you've got to take it all back out and redo it all over again. Even taking the blades off, you can't just lift this down with the blades on there. It's too heavy, awkward, bulky, and then you've got to set it somewhere and all that kind of stuff, okay? So do your measurements, ask some questions at the store. I measured from the floor up to the ceiling before I got to the store. Then I could make up my mind as to which extension to get, okay? So now I've got to read the directions. It might be time for the blades or the light next. Don't just start putting it together. Read your directions and figure it out. You can do it. I know you can. Oh man, the sun's going down outside. I still got a little bit of light. I'm putting fan blades together. I have to put an end piece on the end of the fan blade, and then I've got to attach each individual fan to here. That's all right. I can do it, and that's my next step. And then, like I say, it's pretty self-explanatory from here. If you want a light kit, you install it on the bottom. If you don't want the light kit, did you know they even have a cover that that's not part of the. If you don't want the light kit, there's certain ones you put on, and then this would be the end of it. See, but we're going to put the light kit and stuff, and that's usually the best way to do it. If you got the wires and stuff, why not? Because it doesn't take you any extra wiring. All you need is the power black and white up there in the ceiling and the ground, like I was showing you. Hook everything back up. And some ceiling fans don't give you a choice. If there's a light on there, like the last one I put on, if I didn't want the light, there's no way to put a cap on there because it didn't come with a cap. But again, if you don't use the light, you just don't turn it on. Put the light up there. Or if you really want a cap with no light, when you look on the boxes, on the outside of the box, it usually will say blank kit for light or light. And if it doesn't say blank for non-light kit, then obviously it tells you they don't have one. So look on the outside of all your ceiling fan boxes and look and make sure that it comes with the handheld remote. Most ceiling fans nowadays do. It's a good thing. Look at that monstrosity. And usually for the screws, they usually give you an extra screw or two. This screw was for all those little brackets that went on the individual fan blades at the end, and then these were the actual mounting screws for each individual ceiling fan blade up there. And save these. Don't throw these away, because every once in a while, years down the road, you might get a ceiling fan blade that gets loose. Maybe a screw comes missing or something, and you've got some extra screws. I'm going to put that in the plastic bag. where I have the manual, because I'm going to save that too, don't forget. Now it's all about putting this together here, and it's easy. Just follow the directions. I'm not even going to show you how to do that. I think you can do that on your own. I'm thinking that anyways. Here's one thing I forgot to mention. I usually put all the screws in with my Phillips screwdriver, and I don't have a Phillips screwdriver any bigger than this tip. And the next size screwdriver up, I could have gotten them tighter, but what I normally do is most of the time Phillips, the screws on there will have a slot for the Phillips, you know, both directions, and then it will have one slot going all the way across for a standard. So what I do is I put it in as far as I can with that, then I get a standard screwdriver. And I used to, where'd my yellow handle one go? Oh, here it is. I used to put everything in with this one here, but I had this one in my toolbox, and I thought I'll just put that in my nail bag, because see, the tip is actually wider than this one. See, this one's a little bit bigger than that. And son of a gun, I've used this quite a few times lately, because I used to use this one to tighten up screws for ceiling fans. You got to get it on there exactly right, and sometimes you think, man, I wish I had a little bit bigger screwdriver. And so I take this screwdriver and cinch up all the Phillips screws when I get done. You'd be surprised that you can get it one more little eighth of a turn or quarter turn or whatever. Okay, so I'm in the process of putting that light kit up. It's, you know, one little step after another. Just follow the directions. You can do it. Okay, I have not tried it yet. I've got the light kit installed and everything. Momi is chomping at the bit. She wants to take me to dinner. She wants to see how this thing works and all that kind of good stuff. So now I got to turn the power on. And I told you which one it was. I just turned it on. So we're going to try to turn the light on first. Look at that. A thing of beauty. And I'm going to hit the, see, remember last time I hit the middle for the ceiling fan, but you just have to hit one of the arrows. There. And that's on, I'm not sure if that's low speed or not. I'm going to have to look at the directions. Every handheld remote's slightly different, so you have to kind of look at it and get acquainted to it. Oh, that's nice. Even on low, that's nice. I got Momi smiling and whistling Dixie over here in the corner. She doesn't like to get on camera for some reason. She used to. Okay, so I'm going to turn it on. I'm going to turn it on a little faster and see that kind of shines on there. And like I said, I'll have to read the directions. This might have a timer on it. It might not have a timer on it. Some do, some don't. Oh, this one does. 1 hour, 3 hours, 5 hours. 1 hour, 3 hours, 6 hours. And it's got all kinds of goody things on here. Now that's just on medium. And I'm not going to turn it any faster right now. And it came with the little hand, well, this little plastic thing. Usually there's a dish and you just kind of set this in there. But this one is slightly different, and I can install it wherever I want on the wall, and then I can put this on here like that and just clip it in there, see? And then to take it, you just lift on the top, push down a little bit. There's your handheld remote. And normally I'll put that by the light switch, but over here, I'm not going to put it on the light switch over there. I could put it here next to the bathroom, but Momi and I were talking, and next to her lamp over here, I think I'm going to put it over here. Okay, so you can put this wherever you want. and then that will live right like that. And she can set this wherever she wants, and then put it up there as a staging. And it cracks me up too. They give you 2 little dinky screws, and they're not even the right type of screws to screw into sheetrock or anything. And so I'm going to have to get some plastic anchors so that I could use that, some very tiny little plastic anchors. So I'm not going to put that on just yet. And wow, this room is already cooling down. What do you think about that ceiling fan? Isn't that nice? And the light is dimmable. I can set it on there. Sometimes you can press and just hold it. See how it's getting dimmer? Or you can just keep pressing it. Now that's an LED light too. And you see? Now, you see these blades? These blades on this side are maybe, oh geez, I don't know, a foot from the ceiling on that side. And that's why I did the, let's get this turned off. Okay, and I'm going to turn the light on a little bit brighter. And see if that light ever burns out. You can buy another one of those round kit things, and you'll have to get it from the manufacturer and stuff, and they'll send it to you and all that kind of good stuff. But let's just for kicks, I'm going to measure from the ceiling fan blade up to the ceiling right here. Okay, let's see here. Okay, we're close to 2 feet. We're close to 2 feet right there, just a hair over 2 feet. And had I've gotten a 2-foot extension, I'd be 1 foot from the ceiling. And just standing back, it would have made the ceiling fan look like it's up too tight to the ceiling. Now it's down a little bit lower, and I'm liking that. I think I did good with that 3-foot extension. Okay, well there you go. One more project complete. Well, that's all I got for this time, and I'm sure glad I got it done in time so that you could see all of it. Okay, but hey, I'll see you next time on the next video. I hope you show up, and I don't know what I'm gonna do next time, but I'll figure out something.